Toyota numbers for Tong. Think about this culture shock. He's given up 11 runs in his first 3 starts in the major leagues. His last 18 in the minor leagues, he gave up 11 earned runs.
Most of his years spent in Double-A, 2 starts in Triple-A, now 3 starts in the major leagues.
Defensively for the Mets behind Tong today. Torrent's going to get the start behind the plate. A +9 in fielding of value. Beatty, Lindor, McNeil, Alonso. Beatty's going to play most of the time at third base the rest of the way. Nimmo, Mullins in center, Soto in right.
Good to have Torrens back off the injured list. Last played on the 6th of this month, and he was red hot when he got hurt.
Fielding run value is you're able to catch it, throw it, block it, all of those things Torrens does beautifully.
Fernando Tatis leads off 2 for 7 in this series. He was on base 4 times last night. Jonah Tong's first pitch of the day is a fastball below the knees for ball 1. And we're underway. It'll be interesting to see the pitch mix early for Tong. In his last start against Texas, he was a little timid with his fastball. Threw a lot of changeups early, resulted in walking 2 of the first 3 batters, which put him in instant jeopardy.
Fastball heavy the start before that in Cincinnati.
And the Reds hit some home runs against that fastball in that previous start. Fly ball out to right, and Soto is there. So on his first changeup of the day, Tong gets the fly ball for the first out. Your Indeed player resume: Jonah Tong, born in Markham, Ontario, went to Georgia Premier Academy for his last year of high school, and that's where the Mets found him in the 2022 draft.
There is a town in North Ontario.
Thank you, Neil. Luis Arraez 3 for 8 in this series, which has lowered his lifetime batting average against the Mets to .420. Arraez bunted a couple of times last night, so Beatty is alert to that. Arraez takes one the other way for a base hit. Classic inside out by Arraez. Nemo was playing toward the line, and so able to hold him to a single. And Luis Arraez has his 4th hit in the series.
Because of his threat of bunt and bunt for a base hit last night, he pulls Beatty in. So he's the entire way going that way to slap it by him. And that pitch, we mentioned it last night, the pitch in to the guys who slap the ball is easier for them to push it to the opposite field.
So 1 out and 1 on for Manny Machado, who has suddenly gotten hot after about a 6-week lull. At the grand slam last night, 3 homers in his last 4 games, 8 hits in his last 4 games. Machado now up to 92 runs batted in for the year, 7th in the National League. Bounces that changeup foul, and it's 0-2. It was a tie game in the 5th inning when Machado struck.
Yeah, 3-2 pitch from Peterson, the breaking ball. Didn't get there. His ball was down, but Machado, future Hall of Fame player, went down and got it.
14 grand slams, most among active players. 26 home runs for the year. And Thomas is down with the fastball, 1-2.
You know that he's the home run leader, franchise leader for the San Diego Padres?
193 home runs, most of any Padre in history. 368 home runs overall.
Arraez is not really a threat to steal, but it's good to toss one over there. Get him dirty. Get him in the sliding.
He's got 11 stolen bases this year, mostly opportunity steals. Not getting a huge lead. 1-2 to Machado. And the fastball low and away, 2-2. Alex McKay, the youngest member of the crew, calling the balls and strikes today. Alan Porter's the crew chief at first. Jim Wolf and Chris Siegel rounding out the crew. Alex going with the sunglasses on a beautiful afternoon, 79 degrees. Perfect day for a ball game. 2-2 coming to Machado, and he fouls away the fastball.
I was thinking that Rye's probably going to stay at first and not try to steal. Why? A lot of combinations here. One, Machado's red hot, and Torrens throws the ball as well as anyone in the game. I don't know why he said Torrens. Torrens. He's only been here 6 months.
Torrens is where Tyrone Taylor is from.
Yeah, it's outside of Los Angeles.
2-2. Tried to change up and missed away. So after getting ahead on Machado 0-2, full count now. We'll see if Arise runs. Jackson Merrill elevated to the cleanup spot today, waiting on deck. Machado will spend his time out.
Remember, Peterson, we just showed you the grand slam, opted for the secondary pitch on the 3-2 pitch. Let's see what Tong opts for here. First 3-2 count of the day.
Rise at first with 1 out. He's running. Machado pulls one to left. Back goes Nimmo, and it's over his head and short hops the wall. Rise digging for third, and the throw to second base, and Machado's tagged out. I think Machado thought that Nimmo was going to throw the ball to third, but instead he threw it to the relay man Lindor, who shuffled it over to McNeil, and Machado an easy out at second base.
That's twice now the Padres in 2 days have got thrown out pretty easily at second base. A rise in yesterday's game, which cost them a run, and here. First, though, good hitting by Machado, who is red hot. Nicely played by Nimmo. He just got it into Lindor, and you could hear the second baseman, McNeil, screaming to Lindor. Second, 2-2-2.
7-6-4 on the putout for the second out. Now Jackson Merrill swings and misses at a fastball. So the Mets catch a break there. Yesterday, the Padres cost themselves a run when Arise was thrown out trying to stretch a single into a double, and Elias Diaz slowed down coming home and did not score. Jackson Merrill pops one up in foul ground. Might be playable for Torrens, and he just runs out of room. It lands in the second row.
See Machado come out of the box. He hit it hard, but that delay in the box, and he didn't still really get it until about the 70-foot mark, and that cost him the play at second base. Not even close.
Oh, 2 on Merrill. Took the curveball in the dirt. Good stop by Torrens. A ball and 2 strikes.
Now watch Arise. He's running right on the 3-2 count. He identifies where the ball is. He has to make sure that Nimmo's not going to catch it. Stutter step to third base, and he cruises in. There's no way that Nimmo was going to get him at third. The play was at second for Nimmo, really.
One-two coming to Merrill. And he knocks the mask right off Torrens' face. Torrens just back from the injured list, and he takes another wallop.
Coming off from a forearm sprain this time, boy.
Direct
ball
hit.
Was inside and came and got him right in the middle of the mask. Knocked it off. You can just tell. When that happens, just imagine the force.
Francisco Alvarez can certainly commiserate. Torrens has been banged up about as much as any catcher with his level of playing time as I've seen in a long time.
From like February 26th.
1-2 from Tong, and Merrill pulls one foul on the go into the seats.
So usually when you're the left fielder, if you feel the ball like this, you might go to second base. But he had a feeling that Arise was not going to score, so just got into Lindor and let him make the decision. And he made the right decision. Good play by those two.
And Merrill goes down swinging on the curveball, and Tong gets out of trouble in the opening inning. 1-0 New York as we start the second. Ramon Laureano leads off against Jonah Tong. Laureano put the capper on the Padres' 7-4 win last night with a ninth-inning home run off Ryan Stanek. His 24th home run, matching his career high. He has been a big plus since coming over from the Orioles. 1-1 to Laureano with Gavin Sheets and Ryan O'Hearn to follow. After Tong worked around a couple of hits in the first inning, thanks to Machado being thrown out, trying to stretch a single into a double. And the curveball pulled foul, 1-2.
Well, it's not only that he's hitting and getting plenty of hits. It's the home runs and slug that's in Laureano's game now. Got a hanging slider from Stanek. Made him pay. Making a lot of people pay this year.
He's having some season. 879 OPS. Who had that in their crystal ball for Laureano? On the outside corner, got him looking at a fastball. And Laureano is out. Second strikeout for Jonah Tong.
I already love that Jonah's throwing that fastball with 2 strikes more than he did in his last 2 starts, to tell you the truth. Laureano has a better slugging percentage than Pete Alonso or Juan Soto.
That's amazing. Here's Gavin Sheets, 0 for 7 in this series. And takes the curveball high for ball 1. Sheets moved down in the batting order. They moved Jackson Merrill back up to cleanup. Merrill had been hitting cleanup earlier in the year, but he had struggled. But he's hot now, so Mike Schild moved him up in the order. And Sheets down to 6th.
Usually McKay is a good low ball umpire for pitchers. He has not given that low pitch yet to Tong.
Two balls and a strike. And then Sheets hits one toward the hole, and that just sneaks through for a base hit. Mullins over to cut it off, and Sheets will hold it first with a 1-out single.
A lot of times when you're striding towards the plate, striding towards the mound, you'll pick it up and put it down. He just kind of transfers his weight and slides into his swing, but keeps that head level.
So a seeing eye single for Sheets, 1 out and 1 on. Ryan O'Hearn the batter. Of both players that A.J. Preller acquired at the deadline, he's gotten so much production from Laureano, from Freddie Fermin, of course Mason Miller. The one guy who has not really produced for the Padres is Ryan O'Hearn. 40 games now for San Diego, hitting well below his numbers in Baltimore.
They're looking for him to play like he did for Baltimore in April and May when he had his best production.
He was a reclamation project in Baltimore. Remember, he had been let go by Kansas City, and he found a home with the Orioles as an older player on a young team. Got jammed, and he fouls off the fastball, 1-2. Sheets at first and trying to hold on the curveball, and O'Hearn stopped the swing in time. 2-2.
You know, I've been fortunate enough to talk to AJ a few times, and I'll tell you one thing: he's more Dave Dombrowski than he is any of the younger execs. He recognizes when he's got a good team, and he goes and gets the people he needs to complete that team.
Another curveball fouled off, and you know, the Padres at one point were a team that struggled with their attendance, but because of the star power that they brought in, they sell out Petco Park almost every night.
All the time. You have a discussion with A.J. Preller or Mike Schilt, you're going to learn something each and every time.
O'Hearn takes strike 3 call. Another fastball to catch a Padre hitter looking. Third strikeout for Tong, 2 down.
So if you're the Padres and you're thinking about Tong, you saw how changeup reliant, changeup dominant he was in his last inning against Texas. And just the opposite here today.
Well, you knew it was going to change. You heard Carlos Mendoza post-game after that game last Friday against the Rangers question the pitch selection. So you knew that it was going to be different today. Cronenworth takes a first pitch fastball for a strike.
He just throws too hard to not use it and make it a weapon. And if he establishes the fastball, the changeup now plays up. He's used more curveballs, Gary, too, in the early going.
Fouled off by Cronenworth. I thought Mendoza's comments were interesting only because, you know, we don't know. Is that a game plan thing? Is that a catcher thing? Is that a pitcher thing when you choose to be that changeup reliant?
Look at that number for the four-seam fastball. Love it. I think it was Mendoza taking a shot across the bow at anyone who's responsible for Tong. Let's go.
And we've seen it so far today. Curveball hit on the ground. McNeil is right there to play it. And that retires the side. A hit and one left. Shutdown inning for Tong after getting the lead. 1-0 New York. Freddie Fermin leads off in the third inning against Jonah Tong. And he pops the first one up behind second base. McNeil trailing out. One pitch, one out.
Did you ever play hooky and come to a Mets game, Gary?
I used to go play hooky and go to Aqueduct. That was my big move.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I did play hooky a few times and come to Met games, but as I got well into my high school years,
more sophisticated.
Aqueduct on a February afternoon.
I'm learning more about you in this 20th year.
Here's Fernando Tatis, and he takes a strike. Now, when I said it's always a good day for playing hooky, Dave Freed said it's never a good day for playing hooky. Did you have perfect attendance in school?
I did, mate. I was afraid of my mother.
Did you hear that? Said he was afraid of his mother. That's hooked down the left field line by Tatis, and that goes foul. Tatis hit it a long way, but it just had too much hook on it.
Let me ask you a question. Like, how much money do you need to play hooky at Aqueduct? Like, how much did you have on your person about?
$10?
Really? That's all you needed?
Yeah.
For time.
I mean, put $2 on each of the first 5 races. If you lose them all, you go home.
You better have your quinella in. I just heard the horn.
Well, the crew chief is calling for a review after that last foul ball.
Well, they had it yesterday on Alvarez's, remember? When he came back into play, it looked like it was a double, and they reversed it and called it a home run.
Well, they also had one on Soto's foul ball that just missed the foul ball.
I mean,
this one was not particularly close.
Let's see. Oh, it's pretty close. It's pretty close. I mean, it's not a home run, but it's pretty close. You know, the problem here, and I don't think this is the case with this Tatis one, you can hit a ball that goes over the foul pole.
These are some of the shortest foul poles in Major League Baseball. We've said that since this park.
After review, calls confirmed, foul ball.
Play under review presented by Citizens, making sense of the play. So Alan Porter makes some sense. And it's an 0-2 count to Tatis. Tatis flying to right his first time up. And that's lined up the middle for a base hit. Like a slider from Tong that time. And Tatis banged it right up the middle.
We've seen some balls through the box, haven't we? Last night's game ended with a Soto rip up the box that was played by Suarez. This one avoids the young Tong. Just avoided that right leg.
So 1 out and 1 on. Now Luis Arias.
I love it. I mean, people come to the game with Tongs.
That gets away from Alonso, and Tatis will go to second base. Oh, it looked like a pretty good throw by Tong.
Let's see here. It's a little bit into the runner. Oh no, it's a bounce ball. Tough play. Pete didn't get down though, but it wasn't a good throw.
So that'll be an E1. putting a runner in scoring position with 1 out. Rise out a base hit along the left field line his first time up. Now 4 for 9 in this series. And that goes to the backstop. And Tatis will move to third. So an errant pickoff throw and then a wild pitch.
Really cross-fired this one. That ball is supposed to be away. It ends up in the other batter's box. Really impossible for Torrens to get over there in time.
That's will bring their infield in with Tatis at third and 1 out. And Arise pulls one foul.
So Tatis tipped his hand. Even with the infield in, he's coming. Anything hit on contact, he's coming to the plate.
Got to with his speed.
Yeah, 100%.
He scored 104 runs this year.
You know, the only reason you could make an argument not to do that is Machado's coming up next and he's red hot.
And Arise fouls away that changeup, and now it's 2-2.
Arise is really kind of the last player you want to face in this situation because you can't strike him out. Could pop him up, but you have to anticipate there's going to be contact.
Clay Holmes struck him out in his first at bat on Tuesday night. It was only the second time the Mets have ever struck out Luis Arise. He struck out 21 times this year, 586 official at bats. 2-2. And that's low and in, full count.
Arise makes a lot of different sounds when he's in the box.
Yeah, we heard the classic last night. Something about Mikasa. Three-two coming. Fastball fouled off. Feel as though Tong is not using the top of the zone as much as he normally does with that.
You know, he didn't get 3 or 4 calls early from Alex McKay behind the plate, so I wonder if that dissuaded him from staying at the top of the zone.
And that's where his ball has the most ride. Fly ball left field, not deep at all. Tatis tags. He's going to come. Here comes the throw from Nimmo on a couple of hops. Not in time. Tatis challenging the arm of Brandon Nimmo, and it pays off with the tying run.
You have to know this going in if you're Nimmo, is that Tatis may be the most aggressive base runner in the game. He tagged once and scored on a pop-up to the second baseman. So he is wild when it comes to running the bases, and you have to know that.
Nimmo does not have the greatest arm, but that was not one of his best throws.
No, not at all.
So it's a 1-1 game, and here's Manny Machado. Brandon had an outfield assist earlier in the game when Machado tried to stretch a single into a double, his 5th outfield assist of the year. Curveball fouled at the plate, and it's 1-1 to Machado.
Well, Nimmo had his best throw this year, if you can remember, in Fenway Park. He threw out a runner on a sacrifice fly to left field. One of the I think it's the best throw he's ever made in a Mets uniform.
Machado a little hobbled after fouling that ball off his leg.
When you see guys foul the ball off their feet or their shins or knees or whatever, just remember, folks at home, they've probably done that 25 times during the course of this summer. So they're all bruised up, and that just re-engages the wound or the pain, the swelling.
So it's not blonde on blonde, it's bruise on bruise.
Is Danny Sessa out there?
Danny paid us a visit today. It was great to see him.
He looks exactly the same.
20 years later. He was right at the top of all the bits we've done on SNY over the last 20 years.
Oh, top 5
His
in our
construction
20 years.
updates with Kevin Burkhardt and Citi Field was being built.
Hey, you could look around. You never know. Where'd Jimmy go? Kind of a hanging breaking ball. Oh, it hit him on the outside of the knee on the bounce. That's an awkward place to get hit because it's all bone there. There's zero chance of him going out of the game. I think he just wanted to make sure he took his time and 100% before he gets back in that box.
He had his one day off on Sunday. First day off this season for Manny Machado. Machado with his 368th home run yesterday. 4th among active players, behind Giancarlo Stanton, Mike Trout, and Paul Goldschmidt. Swing and a miss at a high fastball, and it's 1-2.
That's the fastball you were talking about, Gary, with the extra ride. That's where he's going to get a lot of his strikeouts on the fastball.
By the way, Trout has been stuck on 399 for like, what, a month and a half?
He's having the Gary Carter year. And Gary was stuck on 299.
And another high fastball, and Tong takes care of Machado to end the inning. 4th strikeout for Jonah Tong. Game tied at 1. 4th inning, Jonah Tong supplied with a 5-1 lead. And hey, Steve Gelbs is here today.
Hey guys, yeah, I'm here, and you know, why don't I bring a little something to the broadcast right about now? Jonah Tong, after his last rough outing, said that every single member of the pitching staff came up to him either later that day or the next day just to check in and say, hey, it happens to everybody. Keep your head down, keep doing what you're doing. And oftentimes they would tell their story about one really blow-up outing at some point in their career. I asked Jonah if there was one in particular that stood out. He goes, no, you know, they were all so good. It was very heartwarming, but immediately after I got taken out of the game, I was sitting on the bench. I was really struggling, and Sean Manaea sat down next to me, and he said, hey, what are you thinking? And the way that Tong described it, he said, I vomited out every single thing that went wrong in that one inning. And Manaea just sat there, he nodded his head, took a beat, and then he looked at Tong and he said, hey, you see that guy on the mound right now, pointing to Jacob deGrom? He said, he's gone through that as well. Just keep doing what you're doing. You're going to be fine. Everybody goes through it. Tong said that right there meant a lot to him, as did the words of everybody else.
Oh, that's great. It's one of the great things about playing the sport for a long time, the friendships and how you try to help each other out through the tough times.
Drilled to right by Merrill, but Soto reaches up to grab it. One hard out. Well, let me ask you a question, because when you came up, if you would have a bad outing, were veterans as quick to comfort you as they might be today?
Well, I was lucky is that Mike Torres took a shine to me, and yes, he would come up immediately and try to help out. But the rest of the staff, we were all kind of like you, me, and Keith when we first came at SNY. We were all trying to figure it out and had no clue, and we kind of got a clue together.
Here's Ramon Laureano taking a curveball inside.
Think about it this way, 1984, which is a favorite for some Mets fans. That year was like having Tong, Sproat, and McClain up the entire year. That's what it was like.
You were in your second full season. Doc was a rookie.
It was my first full season, 84, because 83 is when I came up.
Right.
So first full season. Doc's rookie year, our both rookie year. Sid came up later.
1-2 to Laureano, who took call third strike his first time up. Tong has struck out 4, walked none. He's been far more aggressive in this start than he was in his last against Texas, and it has paid off for him.
You know, Steve's report was interesting because the problem is that Jonah spent the entire summer knocking people down. The whole summer.
Swing and a miss at a high fastball. So Tong stays with the heater and strikes out Laureano for a second time.
That big glove kind of fanned away to first base. Straight over the top fastball that just keeps its course.
5 strikeouts now for Jonah.
4 on fastballs in this game.
Well, it's been fascinating to watch his evolution over the course of just 4 starts.
We talked about this before. An unusual motion, very Lincecum-like, because he throws straight over the top. He's got to clear that head to make room for the shoulder. I mean, I know that sounds kind of funny at home, but if you're home and you try to throw the ball over your head and you don't clear your head, you're going to hit your ear.
In his last start against Texas, and it only lasted 40 pitches, he threw 40% changeups. Today, 14%.
There you go.
And the curveball bends in for a strike. 1-2 to Sheets.
Beautiful motion, completely closed, third base side, fans the glove, rips it into his oblique, his side, and then the follow through with the high leg kick.
And Sheets just got a piece of that to stay on the at bat.
He kind of spins out when he follows through. If you notice, he kind of spins on his landing foot and spins and almost does like a pirouette.
One, two. Struck him out. He blew a fastball by Gavin Sheets. 6 strikeouts for Jonah Tong. Lower third of the order against Jonah Tong. As we go to the 5th, Ryan O'Hearn a swing and a miss. O'Hearn struck out looking his first time up. O'Hearn, then Cronenworth and Fermin, the 7, 8, and 9 hitters. And O'Hearn gets jammed by that fastball and fouls it back 0-2.
Waiting for the Padres to make an adjustment to all the fastballs from Tong, but they have not been able to. Now that they're swinging at them, he has started to elevate them, and that's a place it's hard to hit.
You know, it's not just that Tong was not fastball heavy enough in his last start that's informed his game plan today. You look at the Padres. As a team, they are 24th in the majors in OPS against fastball. They're 5th in the majors in OPS against breaking balls. So you go into the game with a game plan to throw them a lot of fastballs. And O'Hearn hits the curveball foul.
So again, not automatically to the changeup when he goes to a secondary pitch. Throwing a lot more curveballs than I remember in his first 2 starts. I'll wipe out the last start against Texas.
Kyle Hart, who looked great in the first game of the series, up in the Padre bullpen. Got right in on the fists of O'Hearn again. I remember Carlos Mendoza, after Tong's first start against Miami, said the curveball was better than he had expected it to be. He had heard fastball, changeup, elite, curveball, still a work in progress. But the curveball has played at this level.
Well, the curveball is a pitch because of right now they only know him as a fastball changeup pitcher. That will work now. Now he's got to perfect that. There's definitely a ceiling for that pitch for him. But if he bounces a changeup now, it'll be hard for O'Hearn to lay off.
Still working on a slider as a 4th pitch. And he threw the fastball right by O'Hearn. New career high for Tong with his 7th strikeout.
And again, I think we're starting to see how difficult it is to pick up the ball when he's throwing strikes from Tong. That ball's middle, and he threw it right by O'Hearn. 6 of the 7 strikeouts now on the fastball.
Well, you talked about Nick Pivetta last night. We were talking about fastballs in the middle of the plate that Met hitters were not able to make contact with, and Tong has a very similar induced vertical break to what Pivetta has.
Maple Leaf. Nice.
There's that change up for a strike to Cronenworth. Ball and a strike. Jake Cronenworth grounded out to second base his first time up. Started the day 5th in the National League in on-base percentage. Someone caught a piece of Terenz's mask. At least it didn't knock it off his face this time. Tong has retired 6 in a row, striking out 4 of the 6. And 5 of 7 is against Cronenworth. That's 4 consecutive strikeouts for Jonah Tong, his 8th of the day. Tong me.
Tong me. Double Tong. 4-seamer coming right out of the chute. It's almost an optical illusion for these hitters. They're anticipating where the ball is going to be, and it's above the bat each and every time.
2 out and nobody on now. Freddie Fermin. Fermin popped up on the first pitch he saw in the 3rd and came over from Kansas City at the deadline. His 33rd game with the Padres. And he's taken over as the #1 catcher from Elias Diaz, who caught last night.
See Terenz putting the glove at him, say, come on now, come right at me, let's throw some strikes. Very rare 2-0 count there for Tong.
And he catches the outside corner. It's 2-1. Big game in Detroit today. The Guardians and the Tigers. Guardians looking to sweep that series and win their 7th in a row. And they're 1-1 with Tarek Skubal in the 5th inning. Swing and a miss. 2-2.
Remember, it's the Guardians who are the only team that could beat Skubal last year, and that put the Guardians against the Yankees.
If Cleveland wins today, they're only 3.5 behind Detroit.
See, Tong sometimes brings that Vulcan grip to his ear as he's listening for the pitch column when the crowd is standing.
Tong has struck out 8. Mean stays in the at bat. Two. Curveball fouled off.
Tong and his strikeouts have this crowd electrified.
Fifth inning always problematic for young pitchers working with the lead.
Even though they don't count the win, it still has the same effect.
Still goes next to your name.
It's a unique pose.
7th pitch from Tong to Fermin. Curveball, flied out to shallow left center. Angling in is Mullins. Side retired. 8 in a row retired by Jonah Tong. We're halfway through. Mets 5, Padres 1.